All right. Well, welcome everybody to our monthly MD26 GAT Area 1A meeting. I'm going to stop calling these meetings. I'm just going to start calling them a discussion group because that's really what I want them to be more than anything. I got a little bit of some information to pass along to you, but the main part of this is I hope that we can have some fairly good discussion about some things you need, some things that you need some help with, or anything that you care to share with everybody. So we will get this thing started. So again, welcome. I'm glad to see you here, and I want to thank you for the work that you're doing. I just want to pass along to everybody a huge congratulations. And I don't know if you've seen the email yet that I did forward today from our constitutional area leader for GAT area CA1 from Pat Vanette, PID Pat Vanette. As of this morning, constitutional area 1 has a plus in membership of 1,038 members. That is a 47% increase over last year. And so all of you need to pat yourselves on the back. All of you need to thank yourselves, and please thank the Lions in your district and in your clubs for what they're doing. I mean, this doesn't just happen overnight. This is a concerted effort by everyone all across Constitutional Area 1. And I have to say that Area 1A is well, are we leading the pack in the total numbers? No, we're kind of we just come a little bit short of being out in front. We're coming second, right behind Area B, which has our Group B or Area B, which includes California. California is kind of leading the United States right now in new member growth. So they're only leading it by a little bit, not by a whole lot. So thank all of you for all the work that you're doing. I sincerely mean that, and sincerely please pass that on to your members. We're going to continue to talk a little bit about Mission 1.5. We're going to go over some first quarter goals to actual, and let me put a caveat on that first quarter goal. We're actually going to see goals that are as of today as a versus actual. We're kind of it's easier for me to get those numbers to you, so you see real time and not something that's 3 weeks old now. We're going to have a couple of items of interest that we'll go over. When I say items of interest, they're interesting to me. I think it's something that it would be of interest to you, your district, and your club members. And if not, that's okay too. And then we're going to talk about some district reports, some things that I'm going to ask y'all to report on about what's going on within your district. So, and things such as membership drives, new club activity that's in the works. Those kinds of things that we kind of look at as we go along through this entire process. So, as you all know, we have accepted Mission 1.5 challenge. So I'm going to ask the question: what do you think that means to you? And during this little, we're not going to call it a presentation, but during this discussion, if you have something that you want to say, or if you have a question, or you want to answer a question, please feel free to do so. It's not going to mess up the flow that I have, because I'm not too sure that what you call what I do have a flow. But does anybody know what they actually agreed to when they accepted the challenge of Mission 1.5? Well, obviously, we did accept that challenge to meet the goal of 1.5 million Lions worldwide by June the 30th, 2027, or July the 1st, whichever day you want to look at on that. And we also agreed and accepted the challenge to provide service to touch 1 billion lives worldwide by that same time period. That was the goal that was set out there. But there are two things that cause us or have us to help us reach those numbers and to reach those two goals. And the first thing is new club development. Every one of you, the district governors, all district governors throughout Constitutional Area 1, had to put had to submit district goals, and while the majority of, or not majority, every one of those district governors were not allowed to submit a goal without at least one new club. And I thought that was a little bit unfair, still do. I think that it was unfair because there are some districts that are going to have a very hard time getting a new club in. But hopefully they'll continue to work on that. But new club development, as you can well imagine, it takes 20 members to start a new club. So every time we're starting a new club, we're automatically adding 20 members to our rolls, and that's a huge help. But just remember, the other side of that coin, when we add those 20 members, we're adding 20 sets of hands to go out and do the work and to serve those folks in need within our communities. While our Lions numbers have gone down over the years, the need for service and the need of our communities is actually increased. So we talk about the need for more new clubs, and that is why we need to be able to serve our communities. And the other part of that challenge that we agreed to was to implement the global membership approach throughout our district, and that means getting it down at the club level. And why that is important is that the things that we talk about, the global membership approach, we talk about it as being a process, and that is exactly what it is. It is a process. It's not a program. It's not something that was put into like a canned program that we had back during the days of Merle or Merlot. If you remember those programs that were initiated by Lions Clubs International, this is a process. Yes, there are a lot of tools that are at your disposal, at your club's disposal, at your zones, at your district's disposal, and at the MD to use to help implement the GMA process. But those are just tools. The club will decide what they want and what they don't want to use. So the clubs, zones, and districts will actually set the program that works for them. So we want to turn that whole bubble idea upside down. In other words, the pyramid that has the top where we're talking from the district down to the clubs, we want to flip that pyramid to where we're talking about the clubs are now telling the districts what they can do and what they will do. There's a number of reasons why we want to do it that way, but that is how we would like to see that happen. So when you agreed to that challenge, you did agree to new club development and implementing the global membership approach throughout your district. Right now, if we take a look at MD26, your membership currently stands at a negative 13 year to date. And while that may be a negative, that's not an insurmountable negative. I mean, look, it can take literally that number can shift within the next 3 or 4 days from a negative 13 to a positive 10 or 20. It is not an insurmountable thing to overcome. And I know that through the 7 districts that we have in MD26, that number is going to flip from negative and it's going to get to positive very quickly. And as we look at this by the districts, MD1 or M1 is at a +8, M2 -3. Again, that is not an insurmountable number. That could be overcome literally almost overnight. Same again with M3 is at a -5. M14 or M4 has a little bit of work to do. They're at a -17, but again, we're close. Some work, some good membership drives, those kind of things can get that number to move backwards to that positive. M5 is at a +12, excellent job. M6 is at +4, really good job. And then M7 is at a -12. Again, if you look at each one of these negatives, not a one of them are insurmountable. We can overcome that. And I'm not your district numbers are not put up there to make you feel good or make you feel bad. They're just there. They are what they are. Everybody can see them. Everybody knows what they are. But we can certainly we can always look for some improvement. But my point in all this is that these are not difficult numbers to overcome. And I know that you can do it. currently MD26 has not started a new club for this Lions year. There has been some work done for a, a club branch, but unfortunately, a club branch doesn't count as a new club. But the good side about a club branch is that it adds new members to the club. So starting off with at least 5 members to start a club branch, and that is a good thing. And finally, and which is a really good thing as of today, we can talk that MD26 has not dropped a club for this Lions year, and that's a real good thing. And I'm proud of the work that you, your district's leadership and your club's leaderships are doing in keeping clubs viable and active within your multiple district. Here we have the goals versus actual. And as I said, these are as of today. So you can kind of see as we start off on the far left-hand side there on the opening balance, those numbers are where you started the year. And at the very right-hand column are the numbers of where your balance is as of today with either your adds or your drops. You can see your goals are in there from membership goals of 31, 20, 26, 23, 42. And then we have M6 and M7 with goals of 0. And you know what? That's just fine. If we take a 5-year look and we're seeing that we're consistently in the negative by some pretty good numbers, getting that number to be at 0 for the end of the year actually is a plus. It's a plus. It's growing and going in the right direction. So while we have some good numbers here, I am hoping that we don't hold back, and if we can exceed those numbers, I hope that we can do that, and I would sure like to see us do that. Again, we have I don't know why we have a total of 8. Well, MD3 you only have, or excuse me, M3 you only have a 1. I see I have a typo there for new clubs. All new clubs within MD26 has a goal of at least one club. There is none that have 2. So I'm going to leave my apologies for that typo. This is from Insights. I don't know how many of you go into Insights and take a look at your. This is for the entire MD. It is not just for the for each individual district. So, but you can take the time to go in and take a look at where your district is. This is out of the district goals progress portion up on the top right there of the screen. And if you click on that, you can maneuver that all the way down to your district. What I think is interesting, you can take a look where you can see the district goals for new club, which is 7. You can see membership net gain, which your overall district goal is 182 is that number. You're a little bit below that now because we're not above the line of gain, but we're there. The one thing that I want you to take a look at and I want you to ignore is when you see that new member portion there, that one that's in purple, that number is 791. I want you to ignore that. And the reason I want you to ignore it is that is an LCI target. Lions Clubs International put some targets that were out there. And as you can see over on the next column over, new clubs, it talks about new club targets of 7, as well as the new clubs for the year are at 7. They have some targets. I personally felt that it was unfair for Lions Clubs International to do a couple of things. One, to come out after district governors have already submitted their district goals for the year, and then come out and add target numbers that are, in this case, almost twice as many. Not quite, but at least a good half again of what the district already has set out, or the MD has set out for new member growth. I have told our constitutional area leader, PID Pat, that we would not adhere to that particular target number. I also have told our executive committee steering person, third vice president Mark Lyon, that while we see that goal, while we see that target out there, that's not the goal we're shooting for. We're shooting for the goal of 557. And the reason for that, and what I told them, that is, if we do everything that we say that we're going to do in MD26, MD26 is going to be a plus this year in growth. And that's all that we really want to see is a plus in growth, and also an increase in reporting membership. And I further went on to let them know that if we take a look at the GAT area, which is 1A, and if we were to end the year with every multiple district just being a +1 at the end of the year, that would blow us out of the water for where this GAT area has been over the last 5 to 7 years. So while I don't want us to shoot for a +1, I want us to go ahead and try to achieve the goals that we have set. I just want you to know that while you may see that big number there in purple, please just don't pay any attention to it. Also, if we take a look here, we can see that we have some work to do in clubs reporting service. We have, while you're at 48%, and that's good. I mean, that is really good. We would love to see us get a little bit more than that. If we can get that clubs reporting service up there to about that 75% level, that would be great. I know that's a big push, but if we work with our clubs, maybe we can get there. Who knows? Maybe we can get there. So I'm hoping to see the membership net gain start to increase as we start moving some of those clubs. I mean, some of the districts who were in the negative, moving up to the positive. So we'll see that start to move on, just as we'd like to see it happen. Some items of interest: membership development grant. M7 is the only district within MD26 that has an approved membership development grant. As a matter of fact, I did not see, as of the latest information to me, which is a couple of weeks old, where any other district within MD26 has submitted a membership development grant. I think it's really important for you to submit for that grant for a number of reasons. One is it's a grant that will net up to $1,500 from Lions Clubs International. Now that they will cover 75% of the grant costs. The district's going to have to cover 25%. So if it's a $2,000 grant, yeah, the district's going to have to cover $500, and LCI will cover the other $1,500. But my point in all this is, number one, I don't know of any district that could not use some additional money. Number one. Number two, if you're going to try to work on new club growth and new club development, there's going to be some costs involved in that. People are going to have to drive to and from, and might have to stay overnight. We're going to have to feed some people. Those grant funds can help to cover that cost. The same thing for membership drives. If you're going to have some membership drives throughout the year that you want that the district is going to do, or you may want to do them by zone, or maybe a club has a really good membership drive that you want to help support. Those funds can help support that. Or yes, you have to put in you have to request the grant. You have to put in an action plan. You have to talk about what your goals are going to be and follow that up with an action plan that meets those, that will help you achieve those goals. And you also have to put in a budget, which is on a already there. It's an Excel spreadsheet budget. All of this is comprised in the grant application. So really, it doesn't take a lot of work. It may take a couple hours to put the grant together, but right now funds are still available, and it's my understanding that because we're in Mission 1.5 this year, they're looking to approve just about every grant that comes across the desk. So if your district has not put in for a membership development grant, please do so. It's money that you can use and your district can use. Membership, global membership approach training. One of the keys that or one of the goals that was set up by Constitutional Area 1 GAT was that we would have all people within the MD, your zone chairs, uh, your leadership, everybody within the district in leadership position would be trained in the global membership approach training. And if you have not scheduled that training with someone, reach out to me. We can do that either by the district. We can certainly do it by the MD, but would rather do it district by district. We can do that uh, through through virtual training, and we can record that so you can then turn around and share that with folks who were not able to attend. But we need to get that training scheduled. If the trainers that I use is either myself, because I am a little familiar with GMA. I've been working the approach now for about 5 years. I also have past district governor Mark Roth, who's an excellent trainer. We also have past council chair Jody Burmeister, again an excellent trainer. So we have a few folks out there that can offer this training. So please, if you've not scheduled it for your district, please reach out to me and let's get that scheduled. We need to really get everyone trained by December the 30th of this year. That is a goal that was set, and we're going to be, when I say we, all 8 area leaders and all districts are going to be held to that goal. So please help me out, please. Make the most of your club visits. Those of you who are going out visiting clubs, if you were to go into Lions Clubs International, go to the opening page, click on the eyeglass search, and type into the search line, make the most of your club visits. It will take you to a landing page that is just full of excellent information and things for you that can help you prepare for your next club visit. And so it makes it look like you are, you know, a little bit more about the club than maybe you thought you may know. But it's just got some great tips and great tools in there to help. So as you're going around and visiting clubs, take your time to go and visit that landing page. It'll help. Also, everything you need to start a new club. I can't tell you enough. There is a ton of information, especially when you go in again to Lions Clubs that are international, and you search and you type in the search line, new club development. It's going to take you to that landing page, and just let me say that the new club toolkit that is there is just chocker block full of information. Also, if your district or your MD would be interested in having some virtual and in-person training, a combination of the two, Lions Clubs International, through membership development, will pay to have that training, will pay to have that happen. All you have to do is to fill out a request. If you're not familiar with the request, please send me an email. I'll forward you the email that has all of that in it. As a matter of fact, I will just go ahead and do that. I'll send everyone that. And those of you who are on this call, if you're not on my normal email distribution, let me know. I'll send it to you. But it is, you just fill out the request. It goes back to new club development membership section at LCI, and they will set that up for you. They will pay for a club consultant to come out. It's not to come out to put in a new club, but a club consultant to come out to provide training. And if there's a particular club consultant that you would like to have come, you just need to, you can also request that. And as long as that consultant is available, then that's who they will send. But they cover the full boat on that. They cover that person's travel, the hotel, lodging, food, and all those kind of things. Will not cost the district a penny for that. And I think it's a valuable piece of training, and it's a great way to train your new club development teams at the district level. Encourage Leo to lie in transition. That's one of the things that I think that we don't do well at. And I think that if you were to look, uh, not only do I think, I know if you were to look at our past history of Leo to line conversion, you would find that we don't do too well there. Again, if you go to Lions Clubs International in that search line, type in Leo to Lion transition. It will take you to a couple of different PDFs, but there's one in particular about encourage Leo to Lion transition. It's a nice little pamphlet, and it's loaded with a lot of information that can help us as we are talking to Leos as they're graduating from high school and talk to them about becoming a regular Lion or becoming a Leo Lion, whichever the one would fit their need as they move out of high school, moving into adult life. And the last thing here is LCI dues. I have sent, all of you have received, you should have received an email from me, district governors did, from me about clubs that need that are now 90 plus days away or out of 90 plus days from paying their LCI dues. And I do believe that Lions Clubs International did the same thing. But we need to encourage that, because here we're going to come into the first part of November, and those clubs that are now at the 120-day mark are we're going to see that wonderful notice that we see every year, twice a year, and that is clubs that are clubs that are on financial suspension. So and we need to try to curb that as much as we can before we get there, because once that financial suspension is posted, that comes out around the first week in November. Clubs have until December the 30th to pay their dues. Those dues aren't paid by the end of the day, December 30th. The morning of December the 31st, they're canceled. So we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we hold on to all of our clubs, and I have no doubt that we can do that. So the second quarter, how is your district doing as it compares to the goals that was submitted? And do you think you might need to make some adjustments to your action plans? You notice I didn't say anything here about making adjustments to the goals. I think that each one of you have set some excellent goals. I do. I think your goals in some cases are a stretch. In some cases are, but in all cases are certainly attainable. But if you're not where you think you need to be, maybe you might want to look at your action plans and make some adjustments to your action plans. There's nothing wrong with doing that. These are your goals, and they're your action plans, and you're the one that's going to make them work and do the things you need to do. So strongly urge that you take a look at that. If you haven't started working on a new club, now's the time to start, because in essence, while we have until December 31st before this first half of the year is over and this quarter is out, we really only have about a month's worth of time to do some work. We're just 5 weeks away from Thanksgiving, and we're 9 weeks away from Christmas. And we know that once we hit Thanksgiving, things slow down rapidly within our communities and especially within our Lions clubs. And that momentum stops. And we really won't get any of that business starting back up until about January the 10th, maybe even the 2 weeks into January before we're back in the swing. So if your goal was to put in a new club during this first half of the year, now's the time to do so. And if you need some help, if you need anything like that, reach out to us. We're here to help you, and we will do everything that we possibly can. The only thing we can't do is pick out where your club's going to be. You would know where that club would be a lot better than I would. And is your team aware and committed to those district goals, and also in making sure that the global membership approach is being implemented at the club level? That is really where the rubber meets the road for the GMA, is at the club level. And I can share success story after success story with you about those clubs that have implemented it, and just the tremendous amount of success that they have had um, just by taking the time to implement that process. And they didn't implement it. They implemented it differently than what maybe I would have done or maybe you would have done, but they implemented that process that worked for them, and it is still working for them. So please, we need to make sure that we do that. So we get to our district reports, and we're going to talk about new club development, some club branches, any work that's going on in club branches, priority clubs. If anybody has assigned any of their clubs as a priority club, club rebuilds, do you have any of those going on? And then any membership growth events that were scheduled for this month or that are going to be are going to take place as we end before this month ends. So I'll stop sharing the screen, get us all back on here together, and we will open that up to anybody that would like to make a comment to start out with.
I'll go.
Good to see you, by the way, Harold. I'm sorry. Go right ahead, Nick.
Yeah, I'm first vice district governor from 26M5, and we were fortunate enough to actually meet a UMKC student who somehow found our email and did a little research and found out that Lions clubs donate eyeglasses. This kid's going on a mission to Ghana. Came and presented to our club. We filled his needs for glasses. After the presentation, he kind of said, I think I like what you guys are doing. I think I'd like to join. And I think I have a lot of friends that would be interested in doing this as well. And so right now we have 8 members. Started a branch club at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. We have another big event down there, November 16th. And we think we'll probably add some more in there. So we got lucky, and I mean, it was awesome. 8 kids under the age of 25 awesome. That are wanting to volunteer and change the world. So keep doing those eyeglasses, and let's get them in everybody's hands that we can get them in, because they lead to connections.
You bet. That is awesome, and thank you. I thank you for that, and it's great to get those young folks in there, because we certainly need younger people in our association to help us continue the legacy. I also want to make a comment here. I see that Council Chair Harold is in. Council Chair Harold, is there any comments or anything that you'd like to say to the group?
No, sorry I got in late. I'm still at work. But just everybody just keep plugging away and doing what they're doing. They got a lot of things going on. So the training and keep just asking a person. So.
Well, thank you, Harold. I appreciate that, and I know you're at work, and I know that sometimes having to get in here and trying to juggle all that is a challenge. Believe me, I do understand that. District Governor James, you got anything you want to report?
No, not really at this time. Just keep making your club visits, letting them know what's going on in the district, what activities you got coming up. I visited a club last night, and kind of it's a newer reorganized club, and a lot of in talking with the president, he had some questions that he was going to ask, and once I handed out kind of a what's happening in our district, he didn't have any questions left. So I think they just kind of like to know what's going on, staying connected, what everybody else is doing, just so they can be successful in the district and keep on doing what they're doing, and realize what's going on in the district, so they're not left out and can be a part of it. So encouraged to make your club visits and see what their needs are and try to fulfill and keep recruiting.
Thank you, Governor James. I also like to ask, is anything that you see developing on the new club front in your district anytime soon?
Well, I mean, right now we're still, it's a broad area in our district, like in many other areas here in the Midwest, and it takes time, but we're trying to keep other clubs, together and give them attention and slowly but surely, hopefully we will find a club and that can do that, but. Right now, of course, we're trying to focus on the clubs that we currently have and keep them together.
And that's fair enough. And I more than anything can appreciate that. And if for all the district governors and for the council chair, and actually for everybody, my job is to push. I'm trying to push as gently as I know how. So I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes when I ask those questions. It's just that I get asked, and the only way that I can answer, because I'm not just going to answer blatantly yes or no. I'm going to make sure I have some facts in my back pocket. So that's why I ask you. But I want you to focus on the clubs that you currently have. We certainly don't want to lose any clubs, but maybe as we're moving along this year, maybe we can identify somebody within the district that might have a passion for new club growth and development, and that might be your ticket. So I appreciate that, District Governor James. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you,
Chris. I appreciate the push from the organization, because I think this organization needs a push and we got to turn this thing around. I don't know how much pull you have with the higher ups, but one of the questions I have is, why is LCI so stingy with new membership packets? I requested 25 packets knowing that I had this kid and I had no idea how many students he was going to have at the first informational meeting. And basically they sent me an email back and said I could have 5. And I'm like, what?
How many do you want? How many do you want?
I'll take 25.
I will be on the phone tomorrow. Yes, District Governor Lark, past District Governor Lark.
Mickey, we had the same issue here in MD2. They're all sending 5. So what we did, we got the 5. We send in another question. We got another 5. I don't know why. I can't answer your question, but we just continued to submit the order, and we got 20 within, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. I know you probably need them at one time, but, build them up.
Well, I mean, I always try to take, I ask when I go on a club visit, I ask clubs, do you have any new member packets? And I usually try to leave them 3 or 4. It doesn't take me long to go through 25.
Not at all. No, it won't.
And Mickey, your district governor was given a box full of them to start too.
Yes, and I took my 3rd already, and I'm already through.
Oh, I didn't give Carol any of mine, so.
So, and I guess my other question is, I have an excellent district membership chair, and I wonder why he doesn't have access to, like he couldn't even enter branch club member information.
No,
and
he can't.
I don't understand that.
Entering, I'm gonna
Let me address. If we need to address that later, we can do that.
I can address it. I'm going to address a couple of things that you brought up here. Number one, you need 25 membership packets. I'll have 25 order for you, and I won't say they'll be in the mail to you by tomorrow, but they'll be in the mail to you by one day next week, Monday or Tuesday. I know I can make happen for you pretty quick. when you start talking about adding members or adding people into My Lion, that is not everybody can have that access to do
I
that. There's
understand
only,
that.
as a matter of fact, there's only 3 people that really can do that. At the district level, you have actually there's only 2 people at the district level. You have your district governor and you have your district administrator. Kind of, and I don't want you to take this wrong, because what I'm going to say is about the best way that I can put it. Having a global membership team coordinator have access to putting in new members into the system is kind of like letting the fox run into the hen house. I'm not saying that every one of them would not be right up front, but you got to remember, sometimes people will put folks in there because they said, oh, I want to join, and they never do. And we've seen that happen. So I'm not making an accusation about anybody. I'm just saying that there has to be certain controls, and so they limit who can enter new members into the system by those controls. Your obviously your GMT should be able to order if he needs a new member package, should be able to order those new member
And
packages.
he has. He
Okay,
has.
good. But
He just can't enter them
I,
in the
I
system.
know it's frustrating that he can't. It might be frustrating that he can't enter those new members, but that's why it is a control. It's just a control mechanism that LCI has in place, and I don't see that changing. Not even with the new portal coming in.
Okay.
Okay, I just don't. DG Cheryl, how's it going?
It's going okay. Like I mentioned to some ahead of time, going to clubs and that, and I went to install a new member last night. And while I was there, the new member brought in a new member that I'll be installing in 2 weeks. And there is another member there that is thinking about joining either that club or the neighboring club. So we're getting onesies, twosies to help our numbers grow right now. I agree with James as far as getting into the clubs. The more we can put on our Facebook and everything else to support all our clubs activities helps. And when Carol and I visit, we take the 100 service ideas and 100 membership ideas in case the clubs would like to use some of those, and they're very enthused about receiving that. So.
Do you have any new club development on the horizon in M3?
We had where they're working on a specialty club in the Columbia area. But that doesn't look like it's going to develop until January. I think I had given you an update on that already.
You have, and I was just asking, and that's fine. Shoot, if it doesn't happen until February or March, as long as it does happen, I mean, wouldn't that be great? I mean, and that's a great, and so we're looking at a specialty club there.
Right. That's all that we have. I do have the membership person who's going to speak at our cabinet meeting to see if we can get other ideas also.
Okay. That's great. I mean, you know, it's never it's nothing wrong with putting a little ad hoc team together to just kind of look at those kind of things. I'm going to share with you from MD8, which we had. I had their GAT monthly gathering was on Tuesday evening, and I thought it was kind of interesting. They have they actually have an assigned GET from for the MD, but that same GET is also assigned as a GET in a district. What they did is that that GET got a hold of the other governors in MD8, and they talked about communities where they did not have a Lions Club. And I mean, I didn't think of taking it that far. I've always looked at just the district governors doing that, but they had one person who did all that, talked to all the governors, came up and with a list of the parishes that did not have a Lions Club in that parish. Now, you may have a Lions Club in every county in MD26. I don't know, but but what was really interesting about that is that they came up with about 10 places that they could actually go out and start working on new club development today if they wanted to. They're not going to all 10. They're getting a plan together of where they're going to go first. They have put that plan together, and they have a real good roadmap to how they're going to get there. So I'm just throwing that out there for everybody. It's not DG Charlotte wasn't just strictly for you. It's for everybody. But I thought what an awesome idea. I mean, because we always struggle. I know that I did as a governor. It's a struggle to figure out, okay, where would we want to put the next club? Where do we want to focus? And as a district governor, you are pulled in a gazillion different directions, and every one of us that is in any particular leadership role is asking you for something right now, and it may not be what's on your radar, but it's what's on ours. So if anybody else can help it support you in that, I guess that was the whole point of my little diatribe there. So pardon my digression there. But please, as you move forward with that specialty club, if it's not till January or February, that's just fine. But DG Cheryl, if you'd please keep me informed about that progress and when you think that the new club application is going to go in, I'd appreciate it very much.
No problem.
Anybody else have anything that they want to bring forward? Because I have a couple of things that I kind of want to share with you real quickly. I'm gonna bring where's my share screen again? There it is. Let's talk about a couple of things. One is, there we go. Let's talk about the club health assessment. Not picking on anybody here. I pull one out of the I go to the line and just pull one out. So this is for M5. And if you kind of take a look over here, there's a column that talks about that you'll see where it might have a 90+ days. Those are clubs, and I know that each one of the district governors, you get a report, a district governor's recap report on clubs that are 90 days or more, or clubs that are just actually even 30 days or more that may owe money to Lions Clubs International. I use this club health assessment because it's probably more up to date when it comes to that information than it is than you get from the governor's recap report. But monitor this thing, if you will, because ask somebody, ask your first or your second vice to monitor this, because this is where I get my information. I find it, I get it there. I go right to Lions Clubs International. I look at the district or at that particular club. Take a look at their statement, latest statement, to see if they in fact still owe any money. The sad part about all this is that I don't think that the district governor needs to be a collection agent. I think you need to assign somebody to do that for you. But the sad part about all this is that $50 and a penny, a club can actually get closed for being 1 cent over the $50 limit. So, well, I think that's crazy. It is their rule. I'm just sharing that with you. So that's why some of you that did get and had some clubs on there that you may not have been aware of, that's why they were there. Also, if you take a look at this, and I realize that sometimes the information on this report can be a little bit dated, but if we take a look at the number of months since the last activity of a service being reported by a club, now on this particular one, we can see some 24+, and we can see some NRs. You know, it's 24 months or more without reporting a service. NR means that they haven't reported a service since we moved over from paper to computer or to being able to submit it online. So monitor the service, and if you have clubs that are not reporting, work with them. You know, I mean, that's how we get the good things that we do to work with organizations such as Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Dow Chemical. You know, we've done some things with those different humanitarian efforts to help things like river blindness and measles. I mean, and there's more things that we continue to do all the time. So it's really kind of important that we do that. And the very last thing that I want to bring to your attention is past District Governor Larkin put out get to my report here. There we go. Has put out this particular report, and I'm using S1, so we're not gonna hurt anybody's feelings. We talk about my district here in MD2 S1. This is a retention report or a loss analysis, whichever way you want to look at it. He has sent to each one of your global membership team coordinators a copy of this entire spreadsheet. And the reason that we've done that, we started doing this here in MD2 last year, and we have 1 full year of data behind us, and now we've also have an additional 3 months now of data going forward. So that's 15 months of data, and what it tells us, and what we've been able to use from this data, is to find ways to help stop some of the losses that are going out the back door. Things like losses that I hate to say this in my district, where we're losing people because of non-attendance. I mean, we did away with the non-attendance requirement over 10 years ago. That changed. We're losing people because of other. What does other mean? We're losing people because of non-payment of dues when they've been a member for less than a year, and in a lot of cases, less than a quarter, less than 3 months. So how is this happening? So from that, we're able to make some adjustments, make some pivots. And so I had asked past District Governor Larkin to please share this with all the GMTs throughout our GAT area. And if you would, if your GAT is not trying to start compiling this information, maybe you might want to ask them to try to work on compiling that, to get with past District Governor Larkin. He will gladly work with them to help walk them through this process and how he goes about getting the data. It's really just a data download that he takes from right straight from each district's my LCI from each district's page. But we would do it for all of you, but unfortunately, he does not have access to your district or to your MD, as he is just part of MD2. So I wanted to share that with you. I think it is an excellent tool, and it's one I think that can pay you some big dividends. Yes, it's some work to be involved there, and it will take some time. But at the end of the day, it does say an awful lot and tell us an awful lot. And I'm going to ask past District Governor Larkin if he'd like to make a couple of comments on that spreadsheet. So, Lark, it's up to you now.
Well, thank you very much, Chris. This is directed to Council Chair Harold. You'll have to give a guest access to someone who is your GMT type person, and they are then able to go in and download deceased, dropped, and that's where I get the information. So this is what my council chair, Ryan Hodge, gave me, was access, and I'm able to go into a monthly and download every one of our 16 districts. And this is what Chris is talking about. It's not terribly difficult to download, and I am certainly willing to talk with somebody, get with them on a Zoom or whatever, and help them create it, put it together. And just like what he was saying, we are finding out that people are being dropped for some very silly reasons. And what this is also telling us is that there's training that's required in the secretarial area or the club administrator or even in the club president's area. So I am right here at the right hand of Chris. He's asked me to reach out to y'all, and I've done that. Please contact me anytime. And I will be more than happy to walk anyone through this and support. We need to know what's happening at the club level. Thank you, Chris.
You bet. Thank you, Lark. I appreciate it. And it is a good tool. It's a good management tool, and I highly recommend that if you don't use this tool, at least use some sort of a loss analysis that you can take a look at it and try to help close that back door, for lack of a better term. Last thing that I have on my agenda is to just say to you that we're here to help you. I have an awesome team that is here. It's not just me. I have 4 other folks that are part of my team to help me with the work that we're trying to do and the work that we are doing with all the districts, with the MDs and districts within area 1A. So if there's some questions you have, you need any help, as Mickey had to say, he has some issues trying to get some new club or new member packets in. Well, fine, we can do that. I mean, that while it may not seem like it's a big deal, it is a big deal, and we can certainly help with that and take care of it. I'm going to ask again. Does anybody have any questions, concerns? Got a need? Something that you think that we need to change, and maybe I can put it forward. I'm not the guy that's going to change anything, but I got a pretty big stick. I can rattle a lot of cages, so doesn't mean it's going to do any good, but I can certainly rattle them and get some people thinking about it. So if you have an issue, let me know. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're trying to
Hey,
make
can
it
I ask a
easier for you.
question?
Yes.
Do we have any kind of an exit on why people leave? You said people get out the back doors. Is there any exit for that?
Is there any data on that? No.
Well, either that or I know I feel sometimes clubs don't check when they leave through that back door.
John, to answer the question, there are a number of really good exit interviews that other MDs have come up with, that other clubs have come up with. There's not been a finite one that has come up by Lions Clubs International, and the typical reason that the reasons that we're being told, and I'm going to give you what International President Dr. Patty and immediate past International President Brian, these are the reasons they have told us why people leave. This is what they are seeing at LCI level. 1, boring meetings. 2, nothing to do. That we get a member in, we've always done it this way, and a new member asks to try to do something new and exciting, and is told, no, we don't do that. We only do this. So we shut them down. We don't make them feel welcome. 3, clicks. We seem to have, and I'm not saying you have it in your club, and I'm not saying that you have it in your district, but this is overall throughout Lions Clubs International worldwide, is clicks. There's just way too many clicks going on, and people are not feeling included or feel like they're welcome within a club. Down the line a little bit, as we get further down the line just a bit, are dues. Dues do have a problem. I mean, people do complain about dues, but we have found that when we really drill down into the dues question, that is more of an excuse and not a reason. It's just something to bring up because they are not happy where they are as a Lion. They were told one thing, and what they ended up joining was completely different. Now, with all that said, I realize that there used to be at one time, and I realize it's not available anymore. And I bet you that I can find it because I'm not an accountant, but I keep just about every piece of paper that comes across that I think I could use. There is how are my club ratings? There used to be a great little pamphlet and a great little thing that we could use at the club level to ask folks, how are we doing at the club level? How are we doing? Are we meeting? It's asking those questions that you would ask at an exit interview, but you're asking them early.
Right.
So we can then find out, we can do that and find out if we're needing to make some adjustments. So to actually say, can you go in and take a look at from Lions Clubs International and get the data for why people are leaving? I haven't been able to see that in years. I just have not. So
See, the other one I'd be interested in is Mickey and his 8 at the UMKC. See how they handle that club and see what the expectations of the club are. I will be interested to see what he does.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's not meetings that are going to attract new members. It's nice to have programs that are interesting. Some people enjoy those. It's not dues that are going to attract members. It's the service that you're doing in the community is going to attract members. And I don't care if I've got people that I'm talking to other than the meeting they come to get inducted. I don't care if they ever attend another meeting, as long as they pay their dues and they're involved in service.
Right.
And you know, that's just me. I mean, I don't want to recruit them to a meeting club. I want to recruit them to a service club.
I think that's a good way to look at it.
Totally agree with you on that, Mickey. And I will also say that you kind of hit on it. Larkin has heard this a number of times from me. In my opinion, there are two types of lines. There's a good line and there's a great line. That good line is a dues paying line. That great line is a dues paying line that comes to a meeting. So we want them, if they're paying dues and they're showing up for a service project, we got a great line in there, do we not? I mean, that's really what we want. And even if they're not showing up and they're paying dues, that money that they pay into dues helps to serve our community through our monetary support that we give out to the community. So there's always ways that we see that. Yes, Larkin.
We started a membership committee that we meet weekly. And we've been doing that a long time. And we discuss these types of issues, Lion John and Lion Mickey, that you're talking about. And we're checking with the 5 or 6 that show up. And we're diving down deep into those little crevices that are hard to talk about. And people are opening up. And what we were doing, we were reporting back to the board of directors. And we challenged the board to take some action about what Chris was talking about, boring meetings and all of those little issues. And I'm telling you, once we started looking at it and talking, having a very strong membership committee and meeting regularly, not just once a month or whenever you feel like it. I mean, you got to push it and got to want to work at it. And that's, in essence, we were successful at it, but it took some work, but you got to want to. So thank you for letting me speak there, Chris. Thank you.
You bet. You bet. Does anybody else have anything that they would like to, that they want to bring forward or share? I mean, this, what I love was John, you and Mickey having a sharing, you know, that's the whole essence of what we're doing here is being able to share.
This may be a dumb question. I'm just a first vice district governor. Do I have access on somewhere within the web system to see what my district goals or district action plan are? Because I've never seen those.
You do. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to, if you'll write this down, you can then go in and take a gander at everything, but then not only your district, but your MD or any place else you want to look. If you'll go to, if you type in www dot I'm sorry, www.lci 8. Let me just put it into the text. I mean, into the chat, and you can grab it because I got to pull it out myself here. I'm messing up something. Just give me a second. I'll throw it into the chat.
Okay. Hey, Harold. Larkin put a message in this chat. Is Tony still the Leo council person? Tony Mahoney?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Did you hear that, Larkin? T-O-N-I.
Sure did. Thank you.
T-O-N-I Mahoney.
All right, say that again. What's the name? Tony?
T-O-N-I Mahoney. M-A-H-O-N-E-Y, I believe.
Yes.
Is she
Maybe
listed on this thing, Chris?
I'm sorry.
Is Lion Tony listed in the directory that you sent us?
I don't think so.
You want me to put her email in the
If
chat?
you could send that to me by email, it's lionlarkin@gmail.com. lionlarkin@gmail.com.
There we go. There's I put into the text. If you'll grab that URL, and when you open that URL up, Nikki, it'll open up and you'll see it will say district goals, and every district goal all around the world is in there. You just have to scroll down to your district. You can open that up and print off your district goals if you want them. So yeah, so there.
Mickey,
Yeah.
Lion Nancy's my wife, and we are very committed to things that we're doing for Chris and the Leo program of Texas. And Nancy's trying to gather as much information from around, and she would be more than happy to talk with Tony or anybody and kind of get some ideas flowing. We've got some great programs in Texas. She's got 150 clubs she has to work with and over 3,000 Leos, and it's strong in Texas. And
That's
our
awesome.
goal is to make it stronger.
I know DG James's daughter teaches and has a Leo club at her school.
Good.
I came from their district previously and had a Leo club started I'm a retired school teacher.
Okay.
And moved to the Kansas City area to be closer to multiple grandchildren. And since COVID, it's become a little bit more difficult to get into the schools. I don't have the access that I used to have.
We're having to transfer them to community-based. And that's not difficult, but it takes some work. So that's kind of what we're finding out. Schools got these programs going, and the Leos are kind of put off to the side. But we're making it happen. So give Nancy a call, let her know what you can do, and she will do whatever she can to help you guys. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, the last thing that we're going to do is we got to make sure we take a picture of everybody so we can show that we were all here. So you're going to all have to put your shiny, smiley faces up here. You're going to have to give a smile and those kind of things. I know that's just really what you want to do is to let me get to the right button here so I don't mess up and hit the wrong button here. So all right. So
turn
now,
your cameras on, everybody. Turn your cameras on.
So if everybody would smile. I'm gonna do that one more time. Let's give a good smile. Thank you. There we go. Great. Now I got everybody's smiley, shining faces. We can prove we were here, right? All right. Does anybody have any other questions? Anything they want to share? Anything along those lines?
Do you need my address for those membership kits?
No, I have your address. I have, unfortunately, I hate to tell you this, but I have access to just about everything you got.
That's fine.
The only
That's
thing
fine.
I don't have access to is your bank account. Darn it.
Send me some kits. I'll use them up.
We'll get them sent to you. Okay, we'll do that, and I will have I'll have make sure that they let you know that they're on the way too. All right, so we'll do that.
Okay,
Well,
thanks.
if we have nothing else, I want to thank all of you for being here with us this evening. I appreciate it very much. We look forward to seeing you next month. We may have we won't have one next month because it's going to be right in the middle of Thanksgiving. So you guys get to miss out on one. I know that hurts your feelings. And I know that you know, you just sad, but we'll have to suffer through. But hey, look, everybody have fun, enjoy. Again, if you need someone to do training for the global membership approach for your district, please reach out to me. We will get that training for you. And Harold, it is really important that we try to get that done because it is one of the goals that Pat Bennett has put forward to leadership. So she pings. So I'm just saying. So with that, I'm going to say good night, everybody. Have a great rest of the month. Happy Halloween, and I won't see you for that period of time. So happy Thanksgiving too at the same time, a little bit early, but have a good one, folks. Good night now.
Thanks,
Everybody.
Chris.
Oh, there we go.